Hey YouTube, how's everybody doing today? Coming at you with another video. Today's video I thought would be a little fun to kind of give you some ideas on how to spend your stimulus check. So, majority of people already got that $1,200 or $2,400 per household. What I'm going to be doing today is just giving you guys a video or some content really, just how you can spend that money wisely if you're looking to do some mods to your truck. So stay tuned and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. All right, so when we're looking at spending $1,200 on, say, parts, components, whatever the case may be, there's many different ways you can go about it. These are just some ideas, some suggestions. Obviously, it's not something you have to do in a particular order or anything like that. So I got some notes on my phone here, and then I also got a whole notebook over here that's gonna kind of break down everything, how you can achieve certain things, right? So what I have for you guys is I have 3 ways you can spend your money with a truck that's already tuned and deleted. And then I have 5 or 6 different things that you can either do if you're tuned, deleted, or if you're just on the stock platform. All right, so we'll get started. So this is pretty much gonna be for around 2,500 or 3,500 with a 6.7 Cummins. This is just what I'm gonna do because this is what I know. Some of these parts carry over to a 5.9 or even older trucks, but you know, take it for what it's worth. So we're gonna start off with the 3 things you can do to a truck that is already tuned and deleted. So if you got a tuned and deleted truck, you know, you've already got the tuner, hopefully you got the EGR block off plates. If not, that's not necessary. And then you can also, obviously you have to have the exhaust. So first thing I have on here to help you help your truck benefit is going to be a Revmax valve body. Those go for about $1,000 off of their website. The only downside is that it has a $300 core charge. So you're going to pay $1,300 up front, but you will receive that $300 back. With that $300 back, you can look at getting yourself some AMSOIL products to reservice it. You'll need a couple quarts of oil there. You can get the Billet spin-on plug for your filter and new filters. So that's the first way you can go about spending that money. The second suggestion I have would be head studs. You can do the 425s or the S2000s, or you can step up and just do the 625s. The cheapest I have found the 625s on any website is about $1,183. I forgot where I found those at, but I'll put a link in the description to tell you exactly where they came from. And that's, you know, I'm trying to figure out where I got mine, just try to brainstorm real quick, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'll have to check, you know, my account and see where it came from. But head studs are a huge thing when it comes to these motors. Anytime you turn up the boost or turn up the pressure on that motor, you have a chance of blowing those head studs. To me, it's a preventative measure, because if you blow that head gasket and you're not familiar how to do that stuff, then you're going to be paying out the butt to get that stuff fixed. So just one of my suggestions. I ran my truck without studs for a while. Knock on wood, didn't have any issues, but I ran it deleted for a while, and then I ran it for about, I'd say 2,000 miles with the 2nd gen swap. But I was always gentle on it because I just did not want to lift that head. So they're a very easy install. It's just a 1-for-1 swap. Checking your valve lash adjustments after that, and then you're good to go. So next thing I have is going to be ISSPRO gauges. You can do this with or without. You probably prefer to do it with. That way you could do the, well, I say with or without, I mean deleted. You could probably do the EGT a different way, but when you delete it and you take that EGR off and you have that block off plate, there's a NPT there that allows you to put an EGT port or an EGT thermocouple in there. So ISSPRO gauges, I have a breakdown over here. So I got all my quotes from Gino's Garage. I looked at the EV, I think it's the EV 3000 gauges. It's the ones that match the factory Dodge gauges, and I did 5 gauges, so you have 2 on the column and 3 on your A-pillar. So with that being said, in no particular order, I got a boost gauge from 0 to 60. That's $145. I have a fuel pressure gauge, that's $156. A pyro, your EGT readings, $172. Your back pressure exhaust gauge, I have $184. And then your transmission oil temperature is $106. Your autometer pods that actually hang it from the A-pillar and then from on the steering columns themselves are $150. And that total comes out to $913. So you can get 5 gauges with mounts for $913. I think that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, a little pricey, but hey man, it's all about, you know, functionality and obviously the looks of it. That's going to match your factory gauges like it should have been there in the first place. Highly recommend these ISSPRO gauges. They're top notch. They're great people to deal with. They back their products 100%. I have 0 complaints with mine. I want to do 3 more on my A-pillar, but I just haven't really got around to it, and I'm just trying to figure out what's the cleanest way to go about it with an MM3 tuner. So that's just my personal preference. Last thing I'm going to talk about is deleting the truck in general. I know I already said this is for deleted trucks, but if you're looking at deleting a truck, you could probably do it for under $1,200, but it's not something. If you just want to delete it just to get rid of the emission stuff and not worry about the tunes, not worry about getting high quality tunes and, you know, a CSP5 switch and things like that, then it's probably doable. They make a race pipe just for your DPF. It doesn't actually have to remove the entire exhaust. It's just one of those things. If you want to just delete it, yeah, that's fine. You could probably do it within $1,200. I was looking on eBay before I started making this video to see what I could find, and I found a couple, but they're by tuners that I have never heard of before. An EGR block-off plates, all that is metal. There's no better quality kit than one than the other. They may use a billet pretty cover for your EGR that's on your intake horn, but other than that, it's not that big of a deal. Your exhaust, like I said, you can go the cheap route with just doing DPF delete pipes, but an exhaust is about $500 if you want to do a turbo back, say like a Flo Pro or a JAMO system. So in tunes, you can pay $500 all the way up to $2,200 for tunes, just depending on the quality of the tunes you want to get. Plus, you throw in trans tunings and things like that. So those are some options for you if you're looking at using $1,200 towards say a deleted truck. So hopefully you guys like those. All right, next thing I'm going to talk about are some things you can do. I have 5 things you can do, and some of those, within those 5 things, I have multiples, right? So what I mean by that is these are ways you could spend your money on a truck that's deleted or not. These can go on as the stock configured truck. And so I'll start off first with lighting. Everybody's seen the Morimoto XB headlights, and they look freaking awesome. They're phenomenal. They put out a heck of a lot better light output than the stocks. They just projectors themselves, right? For me, that's a hard pill to swallow, spending anywhere from $1,200 to $1,400 on headlights. That's a lot of money. So here's another option for you, and this is what I actually have done to my truck. So I went to Diode Dynamics and I put together a list of parts. There's 2 within this build of just lighting. I have 2 things from Morimoto. I have your fog lights, and I have their tail lights. The tail lights are $450, and their fog lights are $210. So those 2 are automatically. I'll put that out there. That's what I got, and that's what I about spent on mine. So for everything else for lighting, we'll talk about in no particular order. So I have the white daytime running light boards that go on the bottom of your housing. You actually have to separate the housing and do that. One thing I didn't put on here is the clear reflectors. Those are $45 if you wanted to buy those. I'll put a link in the description for those as well. Next thing we'll talk about is HID low beams. I paid $180. They're $150 for the low beam set themselves, and they're $30 for the anti-flicker modules. You need the anti-flicker modules for this truck for the canvas system. They're just very sensitive, and they'll work and then they won't work. So it's best thing just to get this canvas anti-flicker modules so they will work all the time. I'll come back to a review on that here in a second. Next thing I would talk about would be getting LED high beams. I would not do HID high beams for the simple fact that how often do you use your high beams? If you use them, say you're in the country or whatever and you have them on, it takes a while for that light to brighten up and heat up and actually put the correct output. So for my truck, I still have the stock high beams, but if I was going to go with a high beam, I would use an LED because it's instant. It's a bright white light. It comes on, it doesn't need warm up time, and boom, it's there, it works. So that's just my opinion. I really don't think HID high beams are worth it for the simple fact that you just don't use them. And then you got tag lights. Those are LEDs as well from Diode Dynamics. Those are 20 bucks. And I think we covered everything. So lighting boards, 160. Morimoto fog lights, 210 bucks. HID low beams, 180 bucks. Morimoto tail lights, 450 bucks. Tag lights for 20 bucks. And LED high beams for 180 bucks. That actually comes out to $1,200 on the dot. So that is a lot of stuff you can do with $1,200 rather than just a pair of headlights from Morimoto. I think that's a smarter route to go. That's the route I've went. I still need to buy the high beams. I still haven't got those. Like I said earlier, I have never had problems with these with their HIDs until recently. I was going to work one day and my buddy told me that I had a headlight out. So I turned it off, turned it back on, seeing if it was just the HID being finicky. It wasn't. Brought it home that next day and I tore apart the headlights. So what I did was first thing I did was take out the bulb and see if it was bad. I swapped it with the other side. It wasn't the bulb. Put it back to original configuration. I thought it may have been the anti-flicker modules. So I had a set in the garage. I put a new one on, still didn't work. Last thing I tried was the ballast, and it turned out to be the ballast. I emailed Diode Dynamics and I said, hey guys, this is my ballast. It went bad. I've already done troubleshooting. I swapped it over, verified it was a bad ballast. It says a 3-year warranty. I bought these headlights in, say, January of 2018. Can I get a new ballast? And they were like, thank you for doing that. New ballast is on your way. You'll just need to send us your old one. I took pictures of my ballast. It had some numbers on there. I didn't know if that's what they needed, but the easiest company to work with when it came to that. So I highly recommend going with Diode Dynamics. They're a top-notch company. They're not a eBay company. They're not a foreign company. They're an American company. So if you're looking for HIDs, highly recommend them. Like I said, I've never had problems with them until this point, but their customer service handled it phenomenally. So, all right, that's enough about lighting. The next thing I want to talk about is your fuel side. And this is something I'm guilty of, I do not have, and I'll talk about it, is an AirDog lift pump. So AirDog 2 4G lift pump, 165 gallons per hour. The lowest I could find it on eBay was $688.50. I still need to get one. I haven't done it yet. With that, I kind of put 3 things in there. So it totals, I'll come back to the total. So with an AirDog lift pump, a bean sump, and a fleece delete block to delete the actual filter off of the side of the block, the driver's side of the block. So your AirDog 2 4G 165 gallons per hour pump is $688.50. The bean sump, the cheapest I could find it, was on eBay. It's through Thoroughbred Diesel, $142. And a fleece delete block. It's the block that just deletes that filter on the side of the block, $65 off of Fleece's website. That total is $896 for fuel. So you still have some left over. If that's something you're interested in doing. The next thing you can do to get for your truck, if you wanted to, for convenience sake, for you, say, getting in and out of the truck, which makes things a heck of a lot easier, and you want that clean appearance, would be AMP Research power boards. Those power boards are, if you've never had a pair, they're life-changing. They're freaking awesome. So I've had 4 sets now. I've had 2 F-150s with sets, and this is my second Ram that I've had. All of them have had sets of AMP running boards on them. They are phenomenal. I lived in some pretty rough climates in western Nebraska, Wyoming, and they worked every time, all the time. They're a board, like if they sense something that when they retract, if they sense something like, say, ice or dirt or mud or something that's caked onto the side of the truck, it actually stops. It doesn't try to keep bringing itself up to burn the motor out. It just stops. And if you're standing on it when you close the door, it doesn't flip you off or mess with you. It actually stops under the tension of your weight, or say you having your foot on it. So when I wash the truck, I always open the door, put my foot on it, close the door. You could feel it start to come up, but it stops because it feels resistance, and that's how I wash them. With that being said, amp power boards. The cheapest I could find them right now on eBay, I forgot the company's name, was $1,272. So it's a little bit above the $1,200 mark, but 72 bucks for some running boards paying out of pocket's probably not a bad thing. And if you wanted to wait later on, say down the line for like Black Friday sales, these boards go down at least like $1,000 I've seen. So highly recommend their products. Phenomenal products and ease of install. There's an OBD port, there's an OBD2 plug you can plug into your truck and just a plug and play, or you can do the hardwired. I used to have the plug and play ones when I first got the truck, but when I did the tuning on it, it needs to use that OBD2 port, and I don't like splitters, so I actually bought another kit with the harness, another harness, not an actual full kit with boards and everything, and had my buddy James at Full Parts hook it up. So they took it in, they knocked out the hardwired portion within, I'd say, an hour. I could have done it, but man, honestly, like where those wires were, it would have been like a gorilla in a cage trying to get up in there and get that stuff done. It's tight up against that firewall and trying to get those wires perfect. So, all right, I got two more things I'm gonna talk about. So one thing I'll talk about are gears, right? I just got the gears done in my truck. I bought my gears from Summit Racing. They had a sale going on. If you spend over $11.99, you get $100 off. So I spent like $12.02 or some change. So it actually helped me out. So Nitro Gears off of Summit's website, I had them shipped to my house for $11.53. That's not covering install. Obviously, that's probably gonna be another $1,000 to $1,500 depending on where you live and who does the work. And obviously you gotta think about fluids, but just for the gears themselves, you can get those shipped to you for $1,153 from Summit Racing. I think all the prices are the same, from $373 all the way up to like $513. So don't quote me on that, but check out their website, summitracing.com, and they have all the Nitro gears on there. Last but not least, one thing I want to talk about is towing stuff, right? I have a drop hitch, but it's only like a 8-inch drop hitch, and I'm not exactly sure exactly how much of a drop hitch I need. I found one on Amazon. It's a Gen Y hitch with the stabilizer bars and all that stuff. I'm trying to pull it up on my phone right now. It's a 2.5-inch receiver, class 5, 21,000 pound towing hitch, and it's a 15-inch drop with a 2.5-inch shank. That price is for $679.99. So that's one of the hitches I've actually have in my cart at Amazon right now that I need to get for this truck. I think 15 inches is going to be plenty, but I'm still going to do some measuring, still do a little bit more research before I actually pull the trigger on it. So with that, I also have on this, so I have like a little build for within itself for towing. I have the Gen Y hitch, like I said, $679.99. And then on sdtrucksprings.com, there's actually some other stuff that I was looking at. An airbag kit and spacers. The airbag kit, I just picked a generic kit. I'm not really familiar or educated when it comes to the rear airbag kits, but it's a Ride Right Extreme Duty Air Spring Kit, red label. That is, I'm actually looking on the computer right now, it's $500.95. Also, since my truck's lifted, I also need to get a spacer for those airbags. And on their website, they have a 6-inch spacer for like $99.91. So I say $100. So Gen Y hitch $679, or so let's round up, say $680. Airbags for $500. That's $1180. And then if you put the spacer in there as well, that's $1280. So we're a little bit over the $1,200 range, but that is actually what I came up with for a towing setup. Eventually, I'd love to get a gooseneck, but that's just not in the cards right now. So I didn't even try to price that stuff out. Just for a regular Gen Y hitch, this is what I would. This is the setup I would go with. So that's all I have for stimulus check ideas to spend money. I'm sure there's a ton more opinions out there of what you could spend your money on. Please, if you have like something you would spend it on, leave it in the comments below. Let me know how you guys would spend that money. This is me personally just trying to think of some quick options, some easy things to do. And obviously all this stuff, with the exception of the gears, you could just do in your driveway. I thought about looking at like second gen swaps, like the MD, I think it's MD Diesel or whatever, or Smedling Diesel. I think they have some kits that are like right there, like $13.95. But I mean, that's almost $200 over the $1,200, so I didn't even bother with that. But yeah, hopefully you guys found this video informative and maybe kind of give you some ideas about what you could spend your stimulus check on, you know, to help rejuvenate the economy and put your money back into the economy. Personally, the wife and I, we're fortunate enough to have jobs that are essential and we still get a paycheck coming in. So we actually just took that money and put it in our savings account for, say, a future house that we've been looking at. Trust me, I've been spending money during this, so don't think I'm just hoarding that money away, you know, with gears and everything else that we've been doing around here. So my money has steadily been going back into this economy. With that, it never really stopped. So hopefully you guys find this video informative, and you can maybe make an upgrade to your truck with your stimulus check with this video, and maybe it'll help you out when it comes to picking your next mod. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the new atmosphere. You know, I'm sitting here at the table or the desk I just built in my office area of the house with my computer in front of me. We're just going over some products or some ways to help you spend that stimulus money on your truck if you were thinking or were undecided about what you could do. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. Once again, I appreciate you guys' help. Appreciate everybody's support. So once again, don't forget to click that like button. Don't forget to click the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and leave comments below for some ideas or some ways that you would spend that money. I'd like to hear it. So once again, until next time, we'll see you guys on the next upload.